Hello there students, welcome back to the video series of Effective Technical Communication. This is your instructor Dhruvi Bhatt. Students, in the previous video lecture, we understood about different characteristics of language. We also got to know that knowing a language does not guarantee knowing communication. Language is just a tool or a medium of communication. Today we would try to understand different types of communication, where we would classify communication amongst different heads. Actually, communication can be classified according to four major heads, which are explained in detail in the corresponding videos. Firstly, let us try to see that what these heads are. Our first head, according to which communication is classified, is according to levels of communication. Secondly, communication can be classified according to different organizational relationship of the people who are communicating. Thirdly, communication can be classified here according to the flow of communication, according to the manner in which communication flows from one place to another or from one person to another. Last but not the least, the communication is classified according to the method or way of expression. Okay students, we would understand all these classifications in much more detail, starting with the first type of communication. I hope you remember I just told you that firstly, communication is classified according to different levels of communication. At what level you communicate, according to that, communication is divided into different categories, which we would be studying right now, starting with the first category, which is extra-personal communication. What exactly is meant by extra-personal? Just remember one thing, extra-personal. So here, extra-personal communication means that communication with of human beings with non-human entities. We communicating with any type of non-human entities is known as extra-personal communication. Ma'am, we never communicate with non-human entities, do we? Yes, students, you do communicate with non-human entities in your everyday life. Say, for example, right now I'm talking to this camera. I'm not liking it much, but it's sort of like blank. But this type of communication is also an extra personal communication. You playing with your dogs, your cats, or your pets is extrapersonal communication. Extrapersonal communication is communication of any person with any type of non-human entities. We swiping through our phone. Students, it is not necessary that the non-living thing will report you back in the same way or in the same language in which you are communicating. Suppose you are playing with your dog, he or she may display his pleasure by wagging his tail. This is a two-way communication. It might sometimes only be a one-way communication, and method of expression of both the persons are different. Let us try to see some of the examples of extrapersonal communication. Firstly, I already told you that you playing with your dogs is nothing but extrapersonal communication. Secondly, yeah, some people have this definite love for their plants, where they talk to their plants, they tend to tell their personal things to their plants, and they behave as if plants are also their friends. So this is also extrapersonal communication. Thirdly, you talking to Alexa or Cortana or Siri for that matter, you talking with any type of digital assistants which provide you different facilities, is also extrapersonal communication. Lastly, okay, in this robotic age, we use robots for doing our different chores, for doing different daily tasks. This type of communication is also extrapersonal communication. Remember students, what is extrapersonal communication? It is your communication with non-human entities. Moving on to the second type of communication here, which is intrapersonal communication. Students, intrapersonal communication is your communication with yourself. Ma'am, do we communicate with ourselves anytime? Yes, students, you do communicate with yourself when you are sitting idle, don't you? Intrapersonal communication is you communicating with yourself, you communicating with your own ideas, with your own brain, is known as intrapersonal communication. We tend to think a lot, we tend to ponder a lot when we are sitting idle. Does your brain sit idle? Do you have a space where you are just sitting idle and not thinking anything? This is not possible at all. You try to think about different pros and cons of different scenarios. You try to create different scenarios in your head, putting yourself as the lead character of some movie and thinking about what would you behave like. All these things are intrapersonal communication. Okay, students, other types of intrapersonal communication are you writing a personal diary or you writing a personal blog which is just for you to read. That is also intrapersonal communication. Even our brain communicating with different organs of our body through the electrochemical process is known as intrapersonal communication. For example, I'm feeling very hot right now, and that is why I'm just searching for an AC. My brain would give a signal to my hand to find the remote of air conditioner and on the AC so that I would feel better. Okay, so this type of communication is also intrapersonal communication. Moving on, our third type of communication is organizational communication. This type of communication obviously is generally found in organization. Any type of communication in a specific business environment is known as organizational communication. Here, organizational communication is the communication with different colleagues, with of the manager with the subordinates, of the manager with different managers of the same level, etc. We know, students, that nowadays organizations are very huge in size. So these people, these large number of people need to communicate with each other every day for smooth operations and for smooth ongoings. For this type, you use something known as organizational communication. In an organization, the communication can be of three categories basically. First category is internal operational communication. What is meant by internal operational? Okay, the meaning is very much in the words itself. Communication amongst internal colleagues or internal employees who are part of the same organization for smooth operations or for smooth ongoings of the company is known as internal operational communication. Here, managers talking to managers or any set of subordinates talking with each other regarding some project, regarding some definite thing, then it is known as internal operational communication. Communication amongst people internal to the organization about the operations internal to the organization is known as internal operational communication. Secondly, external operational communication, communication about the organization's operations with some external entities. You might be communicating with your customers regarding your project, you might be communicating with your suppliers, you might be communicating with your investors. Communicating with all these people who are not internal to our organization but part of an external entity, these type of communication is known as external or operational communication. In this type of communication, you communicate with people who are external to your organization about the operations which are of your own organization. Thirdly, the type of communication, the third type of communication is personal communication. Here, students, if you are communicating with your colleagues with respect to something which is personal in nature and not related to operations of your organization, then it is known as personal communication. You talking about how the day is or how the climate is or the recent politics or the recent corona cases, then this type of communication is known as personal communication. Moving on to the next level of communication, students, our fourth level of communication is interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication actually is itself the definition of the communication. Communication between two people where they tend to share information, ideas, opinions is known as interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication can be of two types, students. It can be formal in nature as well as informal in nature. What is formal and informal? I would just explain it to you in today's lecture, but just after some time. But remember that interpersonal communication can be formal as well as informal. Here you try to put up your ideas and share your ideas with different people, and it is known as interpersonal communication. Moving on to the last level of communication, which is fifth level of communication, that is mass communication. Students, what is meant by mass communication? Mass communication is the communication where you communicate with different people who are not of specific nature, or the communication which is not meant for a specific person. It is for a higher lot of people, it is for a huge lot of people, and this communication has a specific criteria or specific means to be satisfied. Okay, like for example, any politician giving out a speech is mass communication. Movies are mass communication. Any type of news on newspapers is mass communication. Any type of news on radio is mass communication. Mass communication is a communication which reaches out to masses. Simple to remember, right? Let us see some of the examples of mass communication. Mass communication obviously requires some media to be transferred. Newspaper is one of them. Television is another of them. Your daily soaps, it is also communication. Okay, your daily soaps, your movies, your web series. Right now I should have kept Netflix here instead of a television, because it is more definite type of mass communication nowadays. Moving on, the third and last, you open your eyes, and along with that instantly you open Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. All these are the means of mass communication. Your social media is actually a type of mass media. You communicating through use of these social medias is also mass communication. Students, you would be having a question here that, ma'am, what is the difference between general communication and mass communication? That is a legitimate question here. Let us see that how mass communication differs from general communication. It differs due to these three characteristics, first of which is large reach. Mass communication is meant for a very large number of people, and only if it can reach to number of people, millions of people, then it is mass communication. If you call someone, then it is not mass communication. If you personally text someone, it is not mass communication. But if you broadcast a message, that is a mass communication. Understand this, students, that mass communication is a communication which reaches to a large number of people. Secondly, mass communication is impersonal in nature. Students, if you broadcast a message, you do not do it to a specific person or taking the name of a specific person. Mass communication is impersonal. It is not meant for a specific person. Otherwise, how can it be mass communication? So students, it is impersonal in nature. For example, right now this video is also a part of mass communication. Because it is impersonal in nature, I am not recording a video for a single student here, but for a huge lot of students who can be benefited. That is why it is very impersonal in nature. I cannot call names of each one of you who is seeing this video, and it is very much impersonal in nature. Thirdly and lastly, mass communication has presence of gatekeeper. Students, for communicating using a mass, you obviously require some medium, and this medium has a gatekeeper. This medium is some organization, some institute, or some firm which actually tries to pass on your data to these huge masses. For example, I have uploaded this video on YouTube. So YouTube is the medium here, and YouTube verifies my content, checks the content before sending it to you. So YouTube acts as a gatekeeper here. I giving a advertisement in a newspaper. Here newspaper acts as a gatekeeper. It checks whether the advertisement is genuine, all the things are written correctly, there is something known as proofreading, and only after that the advertisement is published. Students, because this communication is meant for huge lot of masses, it can be disadvantageous, and there is someone who checks the communication before it is transferred further. So students, in mass communication there is always presence of a gatekeeper. Remember this thing, students. That was all about the levels of communication. Let us move on to the second category, where communication is divided based on the organizational relationship of the people who are communicating with each other. According to the organizational relationship of the people who are communicating with each other, the first category of communication is formal communication. What is meant by formal communication? Students, obviously there are huge lot of people working in organizations each day, and they are working for a lot amount of time. They need to work on the same project. So if they are working on the same project or towards the same organizational goal, they need to communicate with each other regarding the daily operations. Manager needs to take the report of what employees did for that particular day. The team leader has to check for the errors, has to eradicate the errors. The customer relationship manager has to talk with the customers regarding what are his needs or what are his requirements. All these things regarding the goals or operations of an organization is formal communication. Here these people communicate for some formal objective or for objective of the organization, to fulfill the objective of the organization. Students, in formal organization you need to follow a specific set of rules, a specific set of etiquettes, a specific regulations, a specific environment, a specific and many specifics. To be frank, when you need to follow many specifics while you are indulging in a formal communication, you need to understand, you need to follow the chain of command. What is meant by chain of command? The chain of authority, the levels of authority. While you are talking to your superiors, you need to follow this, and you need to follow this very properly. So students, in formal communication you need to remember two things. One, it is about the objectives of the organization. Secondly, it has specific set of rules, regulations to be followed. Okay, moving on. The second type of communication is informal communication. Here, obviously in the 9 to 5 job, do you think that the entire day the employees would be only talking about the organization's objectives? It is not possible, right? This would not create a very good environment for employees to work in. They need to collaborate with each other on the personal forefront, where they indulge in informal communication. Here they communicate not about the goals of the company but about their personal goals. Okay, they develop a bonding, they develop a friendship and communicate without any rules and regulations, without any bars. They can go out for a movie, they can go out for a coffee, and that is informal communication. Basically, students, all the organizations require this informal communication for the positive environment to be held. I would give you an example of mine for formal and informal communication. If I am talking to my colleagues regarding specific timetable or regarding the syllabus of a particular subject, then it is formal communication. If I am communicating with the same colleague about what food I would cook for dinner today, then it is informal communication. The people can be same, but the type of communication, the objective of communication would be different, and it is based upon your relationship with different colleagues in your organization. Okay, students, today we understood two categories of types of communication. First, on basis of levels of communication, where it was divided into 5 different levels: extrapersonal, intrapersonal, interpersonal, organizational relationship, and mass communication. Secondly, we tried to bifurcate according communication according to the organizational relationship into two different types: formal communication and informal communication. We would see about the remaining two categories in the next lecture. Until then, thank you so much. This is Dhruvi Bhatt signing off. Thank you so much for listening to me patiently. Until next time, bye bye.